King Jesus, King Jesus. Okay. Hey, here I am reporting about another police murder of a black man. You know, I get the racism in America because this is a full employment program for white men who otherwise would have nothing. If they didn't have police jobs, they would be unemployed, destitute, on their asses. And so it's a full employment jobs program for the white police. That's why they have strong unions. And to justify themselves, they have targeted the black community for their demonstrations of their need, that they're needed. But they're not needed. You don't need somebody harassing you in life just to harass you. You know, I live in Brazil, and they actually have many more police in Brazil than they do in the United States. But the police don't bother you. They don't harass you. They guard the public thoroughfare. But in America, the police are vicious against black people. In Brazil, there's no racism to speak of. Of course, you have some people that prefer one color or the other for their own personal reasons, but it's not racism. It's not an institution. It's not an institution. People get along here. It's totally integrated. Everything. People don't see skin color in Brazil. But in America, black people have been targeted like the Indians were targeted as renegades, they called them. And they killed them by all means they could find. And that is what they're doing to black people now in America. They say this man dies after being pepper sprayed and restrained by mall security guards. They don't say that it's a black man, but it's a black man. And they don't say that these were cops, and they were cops. All white, killing a black man. Now it would be not that big of an issue, I think, if the people they were killing were proportionate to the population. Black people comprise about 15% of the population. If the police victims were 15% of the population, then I could understand. But black people are upwards of 95% of the victims of the police. Now, if that's not racism, I don't know what is. And there are more police in black communities than they patrol in their own communities. They're the ones that have the mass killers. Why aren't they conducting intelligence operations in their own communities to find who these potential mass murderers are? Maybe they could prevent some of these murder-suicides where one man kills upwards of 7 people and himself. They're not trying to stop that. They're not trying to stop any white violent crimes. Their total focus is on the black community. Let's see this video.
He's telling them, let me up, I can't breathe, and they're spraying them with mace, and they're telling them to quit resisting arrest. and it doesn't look like it ended well.
McKenzie Cochran is troubled by what he saw, telling Fox 2 he witnessed a man in his 20s taking his dying breath Tuesday night at Northland Mall. Fox 2 obtained cell phone video showing 3 Northland security guards restraining a man now identified as 24-year-old McKenzie Cochran. Southfield police confirmed they are investigating Cochran's death. Police say the 24-year-old was suspiciously standing outside of a Northland jewelry store on Monday when he was asked to leave. Police say he returned on Tuesday, this time threatening to kill someone. Security was called once again. A spokesperson for Southfield PD said this time Cochran appeared ready to assault someone. He was breathing heavy and had clenched fists. Security officers feared for their safety and pepper sprayed and restrained the man. Cochran was transported to a hospital where he was pronounced dead.
So this black man was killed. This man was killed for standing while black. In other words, he was standing in a public space being black. They looked at him and said, oh, he looks dangerous, so let's kill him with pepper spray. Because they've been cautioned against shooting us with guns now, unless we show a weapon. They can't really just kill us with guns, so they have to kill us by other methods. It says a 24-year-old man, don't say black man, but it's a black man, who died after being restrained and pepper sprayed in a Detroit area mall on Tuesday, lost his life because of the actions of, quote, security guards. They really are cops, his attorney told the Huffington Post. McKenzie Cochran was standing outside a jewelry store suspiciously, quote unquote, at Northland Mall in Southfield, Michigan, Monday afternoon before security told him to leave. Cochran returned to the mall the next day, authorities said, apparently threatening to kill someone. Where did that come from? And that's another thing. You know, white people can report any thing they want to the police in order to get a black man killed. If you're white, you can actually call the police and tell them a black man threatened to kill you, and the police are going to come and kill the black man for what you said. You can say there's a suspicious black man, and the police going to come and kill the black man that you designate. That's how bad racism in America. Just like George Zimmerman, when he killed Trayvon Martin, he called the police to give himself an alibi for killing Trayvon Martin. And that's what flew. I mean, that's what it was. The police was notified. So George, go ahead and kill Trayvon. This is the understanding white folks have amongst themselves. Black people, you gotta realize you're the other. You're not part of what they are. You're the other. You're the enemy. You're the one that they make their living off. It's like they got you in a big boiling pot of water, and they come and take the soup off of you and feed themselves and their children and their families with. This is the full employment program for white people. Remember that white people are always going to find something to do for each other. Because, it's, as they say, it's their country. They took it from the Indians. So they really feel that their racism is justified. So one of the things now is that a lot of this is being captured on video because so many people have cell phone cameras. But without those cell phone cameras, you know, it would be even worse. They would be killing us in droves. That's the one constraining factor in this whole equation that nobody addresses, that the only reason why they're not killing more of us is because there are a lot of cell phones. Let's see this other video of the incident, see if it's any better.
The man's family believes his death could have been prevented.
And
It's the difficult-to-watch cell phone video of Northland Mall security guards holding 25-year-old McKenzie Cochran to the ground just seconds after he had been pepper sprayed. Witnesses say Cochran was screaming he couldn't breathe. Then he stopped breathing. Paramedics tried to revive him, but they couldn't. Now the Oakland County Medical Examiner's Office is ruling Cochran's death an accident by position, compression, asphyxia that happened while he was restrained. Renowned forensic pathologist Dr. Werner Spitz explained to Local 4 what that means.
Face down, and then they applied pressure to his back. And this led to his inability to breathe, to expand his chest due to the pressure on him, and as a result of that, he died.
The man's family has already hired an attorney. Gerald Thurswell says the guards were not properly trained or supervised. He's already filed a civil suit against the mall, the guards, and the security company, asking for $800 million in damages. But Teresa Cochran told me during an exclusive interview last month, nothing is worth her son's life.
To identify him from a photo is it's quite heartbreaking. Because like I said, no parent wants to bury their children.
No, we've reached out to the mall and also the security company, but so far we've heard nothing back. In the meantime, local lawmakers are trying to push through a special bill mandating security officers here in the state of Michigan undergo special extensive training. We're live tonight. I'm Chauncey Glover, Local 4.
Well, you know, this is a whole bunch of bullshit. And they saying all this with a straight face. How can you have an accidental asphyxiation when 3 grown men inflicted that asphyxiation? Now, if one man take a woman and choke her to death, it's never ruled accidental. But when 3 men choke a black man to death, they call it accidental. There's never been an accidental asphyxiation in the history of forensics. This Jew lying pathologist, if he is a pathologist, coroner ruling is a bunch of bullshit. You know, people, we got to start seeing through the bullshit. Even though these crackers are deluded and believe all the bullshit, you got to stop believing it. You got to stop believing that these people give a fuck about you because they want to send you the way that they sent the Indians to hell. I'm telling you, accidental asphyxiation is bullshit. There's no such thing. Not at the hands of, it's a homicide. It's murder. So I'm getting tired of reporting these, but I'm dutifully doing it, just maybe as a historical record, to get as many of these murders on record as I possibly can. Because I don't think there's not much more that can be done about it, because the whole leadership of the black community is compromised by the money power, the black magic money power in the United States. And everybody's blinded by racism on both sides. Black people have accepted the fact that they're going to be killed and maybe get a few $100,000 for the death of their loved ones. And white people realize it's part of maintaining their jobs in the racist society for them to kill black people. And they have to be trained to do it in all different types of methods so that they can get away with it, continue to get away with it. And I guess everybody will live happily ever after, except black people are going to be eradicated, like they're doing in Africa now with that Ebola virus. Believe me, that's a quiet war to destroy black people.